Welcome to the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sports Hub podcast presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. Thanks for joining us here today. I want to thank our partners that make it all happen, Lake Sumter State College, Lake Center Home Care, and United Southern Bank. The Sports Hub podcast available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, and other sites, so make sure you like and subscribe because it helps us out a lot. Appreciate that. Today, we get the chance to talk to Executive Director of Athletics at Lake Sumter State College, Padraic McMeel. Thank you for joining us, Padraic.
Hey, we appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
It's awesome to have you here. It's great to have you in the community as well. Really excited to have you as part of Lake Sumter State College. Can you tell us how you came to be the executive director at Lake Sumter State College?
Yeah, again, thank you for having me. It's been great. Most of my background's been Division I, Division II, intercollegiate athletics, NCAA. And over the course of my career, kind of, starting out more in the fundraising, marketing, promotions, you kind of work your way up. And I had an opportunity to kind of work my way up into being a director of athletics. And really, it's about the passion I have for serving our coaches, our student athletes, our staff, and that's really what's led me to want to be a director of athletics. The one thing, how here, why here, over the time of being at Division I and II, we recruited a ton of two-year students. And as you get to know these young people and their stories and their uniquenesses, it just was something like, I never thought about doing this, but boy, what a cool opportunity to serve a great group of people. And then I think on top of it, I had the wonderful opportunity to work at Disney's Wide World of Sports for about 3.5 years, and then had the opportunity in another stint to work for UCF. And it's funny, I've been telling people I was there when we built the new stadium, and somebody pointed it out the other day. It's 17 years old. And I'm thinking, I was there 17 years ago, but we had the fortune to be able to be there with the football stadium being built on campus, the new basketball arena at the time, and, worked with all the suites and the club areas, and to see where UCF is now, there's a little bit of a pride with that you knew you had kind of that beginning early start. But that's really what brought me to why do I want to come back. And then when this opportunity opened at Lake Sumter State College, it was a no-brainer. I have a young family, getting them back to Florida. My wife wants to be here in the warm weather, that type of thing. But just really when I then had the opportunity to visit with the coaches, visit with like the president's cabinet, and really just Dr. Heather Bogard, our president, and just her vision and how bold she is with things, then you start to, I'm kind of getting goosebumps right now talking about, but like you start to see this passion and vision for what she wants the institution to be, and then how does athletics fit into it? And so much of what she wants to do with that vision and goal fits so well with who I am and what I enjoy doing, and that's giving back and inputting and investing, not only in our campus community, but what are we doing from a community itself, and then opportunities like this to share our vision and to get out into the community. This is a great opportunity for me.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you on the program, and you're doing great things over there with the Lake Hawks program, and very exciting as well because you've worked obviously with 4-year programs, and now you're with a 2-year program. So there's a little bit of a difference there, I would imagine. How does it differ as far as working with a school like UCF and then coming and working with a 2-year sort of a junior college?
Yeah, in its essence, they're all the same. A baseball player is picking up a bat, they're throwing, the rules are the same, all of that's the same, volleyball, take it. There's no difference from the competitive standpoint. What I think you really see the differences in is we're really dealing with freshmen and sophomores. These are young people that are coming in, they're playing immediately, where you go to a UCF, and if you have a freshman start in a sport, that's more of an anomaly than the norm. Normally, it's an upperclassman that and you kind of have to work your way in. Where we have the ability to take young people from the day they step on this campus and start helping them become true student athletes. So I think that's one of the things that I enjoy the most. One of my coaches told me, that what's really cool is when you're at a 4-year, you get 4 years to impact them. Here, you get 2 years. But you also have double the numbers of individuals you get to impact because you only have them for 2 years.
Right.
So I think that's really cool. Certainly there's some rules that are a little bit different between the National Junior College Collegiate Association versus NCAA or an NAIA, but as a whole, there's not a whole lot difference. And really, it's the students that we have. There's a reason why they're here, and it's all good things. It could just be they want to get better athletically, and so they want to play right away. It could be I want to get my grades up from high school and prepare myself for that 4-year. Yeah. It could be I haven't hit my growth spurt yet. It's amazing how many young people will get to us, and by the time they're done with their freshman year, they've grown 2-3 inches and put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle, and you're like, who are you, So there's not a massive amounts of difference, and we personally are investing in these young people just like they are at the 4-year. We may not have all the resources, but part of my vision, part of Dr. Bogard's vision is what can we do to be great where we are and provide the best student experience we can for our athletes and prepare them for either their next steps as an athlete and go to that 4-year. Maybe it's the next steps to just go to school 4-year, or to prepare them for the real world. That's the mission of our institution, is prepare people to either go and get that, further degree, or join the workforce and be a really great citizen to help build Lake Sumter counties. That's the ultimate goal. And that's what we're going to do in athletics as well.
Which is great, because it's not just athletics, it's also academics, of course, so important. You have the Direct Connect program, and you mentioned you were part of UCF and everything like that. Can you mention that program and sort of how it fits in with everything?
Yeah, and I think the best thing about the Direct Connect is literally if you're a student here and you get your associate's degree, you're automatically in at UCF. And so many of our students have that opportunity to go. They certainly can go other places, but it's really nice to know that it's a great institution that I can go to and further my education. I think some great things that are happening even on our campus is that, we've added a couple of 4-year programs. So we have a new teaching program that will start in the fall, where young people are going to be able to come get a 4-year degree in teaching. They're going to be able to teach in the Lake area and, directly with the schools, do internships with the hope that as soon as they graduate, they can become teachers. As we all know, there's a shortage. The other one that's really cool right now, and we're talking a lot about, is we have a BAS program, a Bachelor's Applied Science in Leadership, but we're creating a new concentration with sports leadership. And so starting this fall, young people can get a 4-year degree in leadership with a concentration in sports leadership. And so that's a huge one, because that ties in so well with the things we're trying to do from the athletics department side, where young person can come in, they can get their associate's degree, then go on and get a bachelor's right here. But while they're doing that, they can do work with either the local high schools, directly with us. We can get them into other areas, but they're going to get that hands-on experience. For me, being in this profession, what I want when I'm hiring somebody is somebody that's got experience, not just a degree, but what are those things they're doing? And we'll be able to provide that. So really, whether you're a student athlete and you're going to go on and play, or you're just a student that loves sports and you're like, you know what? How do I stay in this knowing that I'm not going to be a student athlete? This is the perfect program. They can come in, get a tremendous education in leadership, which has such a broad, opportunity. But if they want to focus on this sports side, that could lead them into the sports world, whether it's something like this. Ironically, I talked to a young man that wants to do this stuff, be a PA announcer. I'm like, we need one. Come, you can do softball, baseball, volleyball games. You can get involved, and in 3-4 years after he's done, I got experience. So really excited about the BAS and leadership program with sports concentration, the education program, the direct. All of those fit into an opportunity for who we're recruiting as students, who we're recruiting as student athletes, and giving them a broad opportunity outside of just what they're doing as an athlete.
And you mentioned the 4-year programs and everything like that. Lake Sumter State College has grown leaps and bounds in the last decade. I mean, more than I think that it's grown since it started in the 1960s, early 1960s. A lot of people don't realize that used to be a military base over there in World War II. But you see things getting bigger and bigger. The programs are starting to expand. What are your visions in the next couple of years for the program itself?
Yeah, we want to align with the mission of the campus. When you talk about the growth, we're the fastest growing, 2-year school in the state. We're serving over 8,500 students this year. Our goal is to get to 10,000 by, 2025. And we're on track to do that maybe even next year, knock on wood. But we want to do the same thing in athletics. We want to continue to provide opportunities for student athletes to come to Lake Sumter, be able to compete in the sport that they love, get a great education, and help provide an opportunity from a student experience, from a leadership experience, from a growth experience, physically, mentally, spiritually, academically, whatever those are, to set them up for the next stage in their life. And so we're going to do that. I mean, I'm excited when I leave here. We've got a candidate for a strength conditioning coach full-time that's on here. Now we're going to have a person that can help them get bigger, faster, stronger, working with our coaches. We'll be maybe the only one of the 28 schools that has a full-time person. Last year, we were able to hire a full-time athletic advisor that's just working with our student athletes to help them through their academic process. Wow. Those are the types of things you're seeing at the Division II, Division I level. We're doing that at the 2-year level. So that's where I'm hoping is that we'll continue to do these unique things to support our student athletes' growth. Working with Jay Miller, our softball coach, he has a lot of background in mental wellness, mental health for our students. We're going to create a leadership council. We're going to do a lot of programming activities around that with the idea that we want to build the whole person. If you're not well mentally in your personal life, how do we expect them to be great on a field or in, other spaces? So excited about programs like that to really create this, overall full whole person.
And we're going to have Jay on the program next week with the softball team, so that's really exciting. We're going to take a short break here on the Sports Hub. We'll come back with more from Padraic McMeel here with Lake Sumter State College.
Is pain or restricted range of motion keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game with expert orthopedic care from UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics provides robotic-assisted surgical joint repairs and replacements, post-operative care, and inpatient rehabilitation services, all close to home, right here in Lake and Sumter counties. And for those unexpected injuries, UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics offers convenient walk-in and same-day appointments. To learn more or to schedule an appointment with one of their specialists, call 352-323-5665.
Welcome back to the Sports Hub podcast. I'm Kyle Coppola. We're getting the chance to talk with Executive Director of Athletics at Lake Sumter State College, Padraic McMeel. Thank you for being with us, Padraic.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. We're talking about the new programs that we have coming up at Lake Sumter State College. You have the track and field program, which is in its inaugural season at the Lake Sumter State College. You've also got golf for men's and women's coming up in the fall. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's been great. Chrissy Snellgroves, our head cross country and track and field coach, started the program for cross country back in 2019. So she's been here with us a little bit, but we hadn't started the track side. So we were fortunate to be able to start that in January. We had the indoor season and then went right into March, and we're in the outdoor season. So we're currently competing in the outdoor and hoping to get some of our young people qualified for the national championships. That'll be in Monroe in May. And so we're working on that, and Chrissy's done a phenomenal job there. And, it's nice because of her, full-time job with the National Training Center and just how that's so synergistic. And, our young people have access to world-class athletes down there. I mean, Noah Lyles, who current, record holder in the 400, will be competing in Paris this summer. He visits with our team and, works with them as a coach all the time. I mean, how cool is that, So we have that, and that's been awesome. And she's going to keep growing that program. And then, we announced here about a month ago that we'll start a men's, women's golf program here. We're really excited about that, in the process of hiring a coach and recruiting student athletes and getting this program started off in the 24-25 season. And we're going to be able to compete right away, which is great. And we got that approval through the National Junior College that we could do. A lot of times you have to wait a year to be able to do this, but we were able to do that right away. So we're excited about getting those programs. And that, again, it goes back to, you look at the growth of the campus, and that just allows us to take that same growth in athletics. And so I think the bold vision is that we're going to keep looking at programs that we might be able to add. And I think while we're doing that, though, what we want to do is continue to provide great opportunities for our current programs, resources for our current programs, so we can continue to be the best we can be in each of those programs while we're starting up these new programs. But really excited to get both of them going. So if anybody's interested in either the golf coach position or even a student athlete that might be out there that's interested in joining the program, don't be afraid to reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to help them. I'm actually meeting with a prospective student athlete tomorrow morning, and so that's part of our gig is let's get people here to enjoy the experience at Lake Sumter State College.
Yeah, so exciting. We got no shortage of golf courses around here. And people, you get the Villages, of course, and Claremont, all over the place. It's just booming. Business is booming in the area, not just for you guys, but the entire community as well. As we have more people move down here, more people working within our communities. You got more children, just like yourself. You moved your family down here, and here you are. You're in it.
Yep.
So it's very exciting for you, and it's very exciting for the community to have such an asset such as Lake Sumter State College in our area. It's just super exciting to have that. As far as you coming into this program, what have been some of the challenges that you've had to work through?
Yeah, I personally, I'm not a big challenge guy. I'm usually an opportunity guy. Like, what are the opportunities? And, I think that, I told people that, learning the day-to-day job, that wasn't a learning curve that I felt like I had. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 plus years and been very fortunate to be some great institutions. What I said is my learning curve is learning Lake Sumter State College. It's learning Lake County. It's learning Sumter County. What does it look like? Certainly there's a difference between the South Lake and the North Lake. And so learning those communities. And when we have 4 campuses, we're looking to add a 5th in Eustis. But our main campuses being Claremont and Leesburg. And for us having athletic programs at both, that presents some different opportunities or challenges there, but those are probably the things I'm working through the most. In addition, we have full-time coaches, we have part-time coaches. So, having to kind of work with them where you have a full-time coach that's sitting right there in your office every day, that you can see them versus a part-time who has a full-time job somewhere else and then comes and does this, but it's still considered a full-time job just because they're investing so much. So those will be some of the opportunities, but it's been awesome so far. The best thing I would say is that anybody I talk to, they want what's best for this county. They want best for the people in this area, whether they're people who have been here forever and born and raised here, or those that have come in and are the transplants. They want to do great things. And so that's what's been great. When I get out to the community and talk to folks, they want to see our students succeed. They want to see the campus succeed. One, because they want those people to see, but 2, it's a great force that we know we need people to work. We need everybody needs jobs, has jobs and needs people to fill them. So if we can play that part, that's awesome. So it's been great being able to get out and talk to people. Yeah,
and you guys are definitely seeing the success of local athletes as well, because of course on the baseball team, you get about 7 athletes that are local around the Sumter and Lake counties. One that comes out to mind is of course Robert Tracy for the pitcher. He's got 45 innings pitched this year, 45 strikeouts. You also have Brian Burtford from FA Leesburg on the softball team. Again, a couple of ladies from around here, Kiera Smith, Megan Wright. You could go down the list, but there's a ton of athletes that perform on the teams, and they perform well. It's really cool to see them perform well, and I think a lot of the local athletes are starting to see that, and they're wanting to go to Lake Sumter State College. They know that they could hone their skills. Maybe if you aren't on a D1, D2, D3, you go there and you develop your skills, and maybe you get there as well. And I think that's the advantage of having a junior college is a lot of these kids who might not start as freshmen and sophomores on the D1 level, they have that opportunity, which is so important, I think.
Amen. Preach, brother. Keep going. I think that, there is a little bit of a stigma out there that if a student athlete is leaving a high school and they're not going to the University of Florida, Florida State, UCF, Miami, then they're not an athlete. They're not successful. And that is so not true. There are so many opportunities, and everybody's at a different level. You talk about we have 2 young men that have already signed to go to Division II schools. We just had a beach volleyball player that signed with Division I Stephen F. Austin to play. She's on the Paralympic, national beach volleyball team. Yeah. You have an opportunity, and I always tell young people, go where you can play, go where you can be seen. If you're not seen, if you're sitting on a bench, hard to move and get forward. And so the opportunity for a young person, in the Central Florida area, especially, to come here and get an opportunity to play is important. And then they can hone their skills, get bigger, faster, stronger, grow. Then in a year or two, they can look at that next opportunity. And an opportunity that didn't present themselves as a senior in high school could very well present themselves when they're a sophomore here. Yeah. And we're seeing that. And so, part of what I'm really looking for and our coach is looking for is that we want to continue to reach out to the athletic directors and to the coaches in this area and the parents, and to say, we are a viable option. We are a place that a young person can come, get bigger, faster, stronger, grow, do all those things, and get a great education and set their daughter or their son up for a next chapter in their journey. So we're going to continue to play our part. We're going to push hard to get the young people in this area to know that we exist. We want them to have an opportunity to come here. And we also know that they may decide to leave. They may want to experience something different. But I also want them to say, I had such a great experience when I was recruited, that maybe if something didn't work out where they choose to go, they have a home here. They have a place to come back to. They can get there and be part of a very successful program that we're continuing to build on. And we've had great success this year already. I mean, our baseball team was ranked for the first time ever. Yeah. Think about that. We got as high as 18, and, we ended up, playing the 14th ranked team and stumbled. We won, lost 2 of 3, but, played them well. And we beat the defending national Division I champion in Santa Fe the other day. I mean, or Central Florida. How great is that? I mean, we're competing with the big boys. So we're excited to keep going on that.
For sure. And one of the players you mentioned, Berkeley Andrews, one of those Paralympic athletes. Hopefully that she's able to make it to the Olympics one day. Of course, the Paralympics, they don't have beach volleyball yet, but hopefully in the next couple of years, the IOC adds that. But Berkeley, well, what an amazing person. We got the opportunity to talk to her a couple of months ago, and we did a feature story on her. She was at Texas Tech, and she got recruited actually by Neil Stanley to come to college at Lake Sumter State College, which is such a great thing, because she's just a small story of a larger, broader picture of kids who are seeing what's going on here, and they're wanting to come and play. And I think that comes down to the faculty that's there at Lake Sumter State College, and you have the right people. If you have the right people, it's going to make it even bigger and bigger. And I think that's what you're seeing, and that's why Berkeley came, and she's just been so happy to play at Lake Sumter State College, coming into the final games of her career. But what a player.
Yep, and that's those stories. Those are unique. Give them an opportunity. And you mentioned Megan Wright. I mean, Megan Wright had 10 RBIs in a game earlier this year. She was named the National Junior College Player of the Week. National, not just local region, the whole country. Jabir Taylor earlier in January, February was named the Indoor National Athlete of the Week. Those are the first 2 we've ever had at this institution getting that recognition. Yeah. So our young people are continuing to do bigger and better things. And when you see that, and in local young people see it and go, wait a minute, I could be part of something like that. Because of, you talk about Neil Stanley. I mean, he coaches at that level. Christie's coaching world-class athletes. Yeah. We've got people that are investing in more than just this community and Lake Sumter. They're doing other great things too, and all of that ties into Lake Sumter State College is a great place for people to go, learn, develop, get better, with an opportunity to succeed in the next journey. And I always say it's not the destination all the time, it's the journey. And so if we're part of that journey to help you get to your destination, let us be part of that.
Absolutely. We're going to take one more short break here on the Sports Hub podcast. We'll be back with Padraic McMeel from Lake Sumter State College. We'll have more after this. Are you ready for your future to take flight? Whether you're graduating high school or looking to level up, Lake Sumter State College offers affordable degrees and certificates that will punch your ticket to success in a rewarding career. Plus, with programs like Direct Connect to UCF, your opportunities with LSSC are endless. So, what are you waiting for? Join us in Leesburg, Claremont, Sumterville, Four Corners, or online. Learn more at lssc.edu. Hey, everybody. We are back on the Sports Hub podcast talking with the Executive Director of Athletics at Lake Sumter State College, Padraic McMeel. Thank you for coming on to the program. It's been great talking to you, getting a little bit of insight into the Lake Sumter State College programs and everything that you're offering. And so excited to have you here in the community. I know the community is very excited to have you here. Talk about some of the things that you are planning to do within the community as well, in and around the college and what you have planned.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's a huge piece of this. I think, just like any institution, athletics department, we need support. And that support is across the board. It can be come out and watch our athletes, give them fans and a stage and an atmosphere. It could be financial, in a lot of different ways. It could be just simple support. It's, hey, I got dirt. You need dirt. Here's some dirt. It could be that. We're trying, again, to make this a great program. We want to have a great opportunities for our student athletes to compete. We need resources. And so one of the things is that we need to determine what are those. And so that as we have conversations with whether it's businesses or individuals in the area and they say, hey, how can I help? We can give them an answer, versus I don't know, So really working on that, that's one of the big things that I've been doing is getting to know the community, what makes it tick, what's important to them, those types of things, so that when we put together this vision and this plan, we have a thing to share and they can see it and feel it and, in some ways physically touch it. So that's been great, trying to get to know our local high school athletic directors. Had the great chance to meet with Spencer Hay the other day and talk a little bit about how we can do more with, specifically Leesburg High School, but then how can we work with all the others, and it's great, like me just reaching out to the ADs and, I get a phone call from somebody that says, hey, I saw your email. Tell me more about the golf program. So, being able to do that. But ultimately, I want to get out. I want to start to get to know more people. I've had a chance to go to FCA events and a few others here and there and starting to get to know people in the community. And so we'll keep doing that. And that's our ultimate goal, is to be that. But I think what's important is that while I'm telling you that we're looking for ways to get people involved, we also want to be involved. We want to get back. We do over 1,000 service hours every year. Rich Billings, our baseball coach, helps coordinate all of that. We want to give back because it's great to, one, give back to those that are supporting us. Two, it's great to give back to our community. We need to help that. But it's great for our student athletes and coaches to understand that as part of their civic duty as an individual, to not just be a student, not just be an athlete, but be a service person, be somebody that's going to give back. And so it's kind of that, they, in the business world, they call it B2B, the business to business. In this case, it's how do we have true partnerships? How do we partner with those folks and how do they partner with us? And we make it a good partnership, one that works for everybody. And it's different for everybody. It's unique. So those are some of the simple things to get out into the community and be more engaged that way. Yep. And I think you're seeing that a lot with Dr. Begard's vision, from the top of the college all the way down of what are we doing to get out, and athletics is going to play its part to do that as well.
Absolutely. One more question I have for you is your advice to young athletes considering Lake Sumter State College. What is your advice to them?
Yep. I always call it my soapbox. So, the first and foremost I always say is make sure you get good grades. It's amazing to me how many of them, just focus everything on their athletic side. But if you really want to go play at any college, the easiest thing for a coach to do when they recruit you is look at your grades and go, great, I can give you academic support. It's amazing how much more money is in the academic side than sometimes even the athletic scholarship side. So go get your grades, go to class, do your job there, get that degree. And ultimately, that's going to be someone that's going to lead you. So that's the first and foremost. But, I also think, reach out to us. If you have an interest, let us know. Our coaches are going to, follow what you're doing as well. So I think that's important. And I think, too, is we are all competitive. We got into this business because we love to compete. And winning's awesome. Nobody really likes to lose. But I think what's important is, are you winning at everything you do in your life? Are you giving your best effort? Are you, doing good in the classroom? Are you giving your all in practice? Yeah. That's the biggest thing to me is don't worry about the wins and losses. Worry about what are you doing to be the best version of yourself, the best teammate you can be to help your team do the things they want to do. You'll hear that a lot from Jay Miller, our softball coach. Yeah. How do you be great in your life? Because if you do those things, the wins will come more than the losses. And so I say to you that, and have fun, man. man. We all started this game when we were in Little League, or our first time we picked up a volleyball. We did it because we love it, and we're here because we love it. But sometimes over time, we get caught up into the perceived pressures. Stop. Enjoy it. It's a game. Enjoy your life. Enjoy this time in your life, because you may not be able to play it for the rest of your life, you know? So just enjoy it. But go to school, work hard, enjoy it, have fun.
Amazing advice from Padraic McMeel. I'd follow you into battle after that. I want to thank you for coming on to the program. Thank you for everything you're doing at Lake Sumter State College, and we can't wait to see what you do the next couple of years here.
Thank you, and appreciate all your support for the community as well as Lake Sumter State College, and go Lakehawks.
Absolutely. Go Lakehawks. I want to thank our partners who make it all happen here on the Sports Hub, UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. Also want to thank Lake Sumter State College, Lake Center Home Care, and United Southern Bank. Our podcast available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, and other sites, so make sure to go out and like and subscribe, because it helps us out a lot. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next edition of the Sports Hub Podcast.
This has been the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.